Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilikis. In today's class, we will be learning how to make this beautiful dress we have here. So I quickly made a sketch of what it looks like, which will be this way. So looking at it, it will be a circular flare dress and with a high neck in front and a lower V-neck at the back. So all you need is the basic bodice pattern for your child. I have the link in the description box below and also at the top of this video once you finish watching it. So here is what I have for the basic body for a 1 year old. So between 1 to 2 years is fine with this measurement. Now the next thing I'm going to do is this is the fabric I'm working with. It is a Duchess fabric, so it's like a two-tone. So I'll be using a black lining with it because it's difficult to get like a matching lining, so I'll be using black lining. So now let's quickly make some alteration on the pattern. It's going to be sleeveless, so what I will do is this: from the edge of this armhole, just going by ½ an inch, because you don't want it coming off the child's shoulder. ½ an inch. You do that to the other side too. Then you can drop the armhole by ½ an inch too, or ¼ an inch. Then you can redraw. So first let me put the neck down here. So just walk around with your armhole curve. So we are eliminating this off. Then to the front. So with this, but if you are making sleeve with yours, just ignore this part. So this is what it looks like. Also for the neckline, we are going to drop it a bit. So for this, I'm just going to come down by ½ an inch. So I made use of 2 inches for the neck width, so I just added extra half to make it 2.5. So then I will draw. Then let me relax the neck region here. So just by ¼ an inch is fine. So don't forget to do the same thing to the back. So I've successfully dropped the neck region and the armhole region. So now for the back, I'm just going to take it straight to the armhole region here. So straight down. So the next thing is to cut it all out. I've cut it all out. So the next thing is for me to cut this out on the fabric with the. Time for us to cut the lower circular part. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want the total length of the dress for her to be 20 inches. That is from the nape down. It is not really a long dress. So 20 inches. So now the upper part is 8. So 8 inches. So when I remove the upper part from 20, I'll be left with 12 inches. So the length of this skirt now will be 12 inches. Okay. So now to calculate the waist area, it's going to be circular, and I still want it to be gathered. So that means I'm going to do like almost times 2.5 of the waist. So now listen to me how I go about it. The waist of the child I'm working with is also 20 inches. So the waist is 20 inches, while the length is 12 inches. So with seam allowance, it could be 13 inches. So now to calculate the circular form now, we use the measurement of the waist measurement divided by 6.28. So this is what we do. So since the waist measurement is 20 inches divided by 6.28. I don't know if the marker is showing well. So now the waist measurement is 20 inches divided by 6.28, so that should be 3.18 something. So approximately 3.2 inches. So that is the radius of the exact waist. But remember, I told you I want it to be circular and gathered, so that means it should be more than. So I could double this, so 3.2, so times 2, that should be 6, let's say almost 6.5. So, but I could just make it 7 or 6.5 depending on how much volume I want. So now, instead of this 3.2, I'm just going to make it like 6.5 inches. So now 6.5 inches will be the radius, while the length will be 13 inches. Hope you got that. Then how did I fold? I fold how we fold for the circular skirt. So let's say this is your fabric. You fold once this way, can you see? And then you fold again. So this is how we fold for a full circle into 4. So this is the fabric here. So you can see I folded once and then folded again into 4. So now for the circular parts. The radius we are working with is 6.5, but if you don't want it to be gathered, just use the exact 3.2 inches. So 6.5. So from the tip now, you mark 6.5. So you keep rotating to have 6.5. So this is the 6.5. Now remember I said I want the length to be 13 inches with seam allowance. So you can just add the 13 inches to the 6.5 or simply just measure from here 13 inches. So however you want it. So let's say you added it together with the 6.5, you'll be measuring from here, which will still give you the same thing. So can you see? So the next thing is to cut it off. So 6.5 plus 13, that's how I got the 19.5. Can you see how wide it is? So by the time I gather it up, the volume will be there. So now I can now slit one place open. So that is how voluminous it is. So now let me cut the upper part, then we can start sewing it up. Guys, I've cut out all the patterns. So let's start with the tops, the bodies. So this is it on fold. So I cut out the lining and the main fabric on fold. Then the next thing I did is to add 1/2 inch at the lower part, 1/2 inch or quarter here is okay, and then the side I just did 3/4 inch on both the main fabric and the lining. So this is it, and the lining the same way. Can you see that? Then for this I cut out the same way too, so you can just do either 1/2 or quarter, 3/4 here, 3/4 here, and then 1/2 inch on both sides, both the lining and the main fabric. So now sewing it, what do? Just take the back this way and then the fronts this way. So make sure right side are facing each other, and then first you join at the shoulder, and then you do the same thing to the lining. So now let's go to the skirts and the lining of the skirt. So So for the skirt now, the first thing you are going to do is to hem the lower part. Remember we added half an inch. To make it easier, you could overlock and then fold in half an inch. However, it is easy for you. So we haven't done that. Then I'm now going to gather this up to 21.5 inches, because remember the chest circumference which we use for the waist is 20 inches. Then I left 3/4 inch on both sides of the zipper, so that's 1.5 plus 20, making 21. So I'm going to gather this waist area to 21 inches. And then here I have the lining. For the lining, I just cut out, the main skirt was 13, so for the lining I just cut out 12 inches. It has moved, so let me just, so here I cut out 12 inches, you can see that. And then I made sure I multiply the waist area by 3, so that's 20 times 3, that is 60 inches. So here I have 60 inches of the lining. So the first thing you are also going to do is to fold the lower part half an inch first, then half an inch, and then just gather this straight. I cut it out straight, gather it up to 21.5 also. I have joined the shoulders of the fabric, so I've joined this at the shoulder as you've seen it, and then I pressed it open, even the lining, so you make sure you press it open this way. So the next thing you are just going to do is to place right side facing each other, and the first thing from the beginning of the armhole here, half an inch or 1/4 of an inch, whatever you've left, you sew it from here down here, and also from this point down here. Once you've done that, then you come to the neck region, make sure you pin it all down, then you sew half or 1/4, whatever you left, you sew that in. Then looking at the skirts and the lining, so I have gathered it up. First I hem the lower parts, as you can see that. So after hemming it, then I gather it up to 21.5, and also the lining. So these will be joined directly to the main fabric and this to the lining. So let me just finish that. As I've sewn everything down, you can see it here and also the armhole area. So what I'm going to do now is to just flip this part open and bring it all out. So after bringing it out, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to give it a good press. Can you see? So the other side too, I'm just going to bring it all out. All out, and I've given it a good press. So also on the wrong side, this is what it looks like. Okay, so that is it on the top. So the next thing we are just going to do now is this: open up the side seam, and open up the side seam to match it up, and then take whatever seam allowance you left. I left 3/4 of an inch, so 3/4 from here straight to this point. Then I go to the other side of the seam, match it up by the side, and also sew in 3/4. So one is one. Then the next thing will be for me to attach these skirts to the main fabric, and then the lining to the lining. I've joined the side of the bodies, and then I've attached the main fabric to the main fabric, as you can see. So the main fabric to the main fabric, and also the lining to the lining. So this is the zipper region. So this is what it now looks like on the right side, and on the wrong side, this is what it looks like. You can see the lining is shorter than the main fabric. Okay, so it's as easy as that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fix the zipper first on the main dress before turning it with the lining. Guys, I have fixed the zipper, and you can see how it looks like. So please take note of the beginning matching up, and then the waist area. So this is where it ended. The next thing I will do now is to come to the wrong side and then sew up the seam allowance of 3/4 inch right to stop at where I stopped my zipper. So now, how do you now finish the lining? This is it. After opening it up, what I'll do is this is the lining. So what you will do now is to open it up, bring the zipper in between. So can you see? So you can pin it down. So this is what you want to have. You want the zipper to be in between, and then you just sew on the existing seam you use for the zipper. So you're just going to sew it straight to the end after you've joined this to the other side. Okay, so that's how you are going to fix that. Then we can cut this excess off. Guys, the dress is ready and you can see how beautiful it looks. Look at the zipper. Everything is just on point, and on the inside it is just as neat as the outside. So let me just show you the inside. And in case you are interested in learning so much about the kiddies class, how to add volume to your kids dresses, layered dresses, you can join our online classes on that using the number on the description box on the screen and in the description box below. Trust me, you're going to love the kiddies online class. So you can see the inside, so it is just as neat as the outside. So I'm just going to get the little girl to wear it so that you can see how lovely it looks on her.